I want to welcome you to EPFirms. I've created EPFirms for a certain reason. I am an estate planning attorney myself, and as I went out and I was searching the realm of CRM systems for estate planning attorneys, nothing seemed to work very well. And there were issues that kept arising that I wanted solved with one system. The number one problem, the first thing that I noticed the problem with my firm is the multiple different ways that we have to enter the data in order to get a client through the beginning to the end. So when I first started EPFirms, before I even started EPFirms, we began with this issue of first we'd get a phone call. And so at the beginning, we started entering into Google Sheets who the client was. Then they would come in or then we would send out an intake form or some kind of data collection ability. Maybe we did it through email, or we did it multiple different ways, but we would do it in different ways. They'd fill it out and they'd give it to us. Then when the client would come in, they most often forgot to bring their intake form. And so we would take it and have them fill out another intake form. I then would also enter their information as I went through on a different sheet. And then after I met with the client and we had gone through everything, we'd have to take all that information, type it into our system. As the years went by, we started to get questions and other things. One thing that clients wanted was some kind of client portal system. They wanted an ability to source. So we started using a program out there to put the client's information into. And so we had to enter all their information in once again into that system. And we had to enter all the information into some kind of accounting system. We had to enter it became so burdensome just to have one client go through the system. So I sat down and said, what if I could create a system where you just had to enter the information once? Even the client, on the client's end, as they enter information, it goes into one system and it's all there. So we don't have to keep doing this. So when the client enters in who they want to be their executor and the address of that executor or the medical power of attorney, that information is entered into one system and it's easy to find the information. And so that's what first inspired the concept of EPFirms was let's try to make a system that we can get people in and out of the doors. Now, if you're an estate planning attorney and you do one estate plan a month, well, it doesn't really matter to you that the information has to be entered multiple times. But I'm meeting with 3 to 5 new people a day. In my practice, we have to make things more efficient. And the more efficient I can make things, the more money that I can make. And that is the key. I want to be able to process people through my system as quickly as possible. The more people I can touch, number one, it's more money I can make. But the bigger thing is I can make people's estate planning less expensive for them, which will increase the amount of people that will get referred to me. As I've been able to lower my prices over the years because I've simplified my systems, I've been able to make more money because I have more clients. People go out to their friends and say, hey, this guy can do a trust for this price and everybody else wants double what he wants. So EPFirms began with that concept. I noticed very quickly after that one of the problems that we had in our whole system was as we grew and we became bigger was losing leads. People would call in, they would get forgotten. People would come and sit with me. If you're meeting with 3 to 5 new people a day, well, it's easy to forget them. And so how could I create a system? And so we created the leads page. And this idea was we wanted a place where everybody who called in, we didn't lose them. We knew whether we needed to follow up with them, they needed callbacks, whatever needed to happen, and when they were supposed to be coming in. We used to do it with a Google Sheet, and the Google Sheet kind of worked in the process, but it was hard to know who we were supposed to be following up with. And so I wanted a system that told my staff, these are the people that you need to call. It had some signaling system in it to go, hey, they're past their next step. You need to give them a call. You need to let them know what needs to get done. And so keeping track of the leads was incredibly important. As I continued to run my practice and I grew and I had more attorneys that got involved in my practice, I started to notice attorneys are not the same. some attorneys are far more efficient than other attorneys. So I wanted to get to the point where I could make it so I could keep track of how much an attorney makes, how efficient they are with their time, how many people can they process in a week. All this information is vital to me, and I needed a system that could capture that and display that information to me so I knew, well, one, if you should even keep the attorney on. Maybe the attorney isn't good at all what they do. Maybe it's better for some attorneys to take longer because they can get more money out of people. Maybe they're just better at that. And so I needed to figure out the personality types of each attorney and how people work. Because I learned that I'm very good with people coming in and out and wanting to get their estate planning done, but I'm not this guy that's going to sit down and talk for hours and try to bill you $5,000. But I have an attorney and she's like that. She loves that. She loves to sit and talk with the same client for 3 hours, and she can get them to write a big check. And so I've learned over time to shift the hiring clients to her because she'll take the time with them. Something that that you'd think that I would love to do, but I just don't. I like to get people in and out of the door, and I don't mind having more clients, but making less off of each one. So learning your personality was a big thing about EPFirms, of why I created it and the way it's created and the way it's designed. This tool is designed to take you to the next level. The last big part of EPFirms right now EPFirms is going to grow significantly. There are a lot of ideas that I'm going to go through here in a bit with you and talk to you about the future of EPFirms. But right now, there was an experience I had, and this really affected me. I wrote a whole book because what this guy said really opened my mind. And he came in with it, and he was doing a probate, and we were going through everything. And we were talking about how much money his dad had, and his dad had a significant estate. And he told me through the process that the most valuable thing that his father ever left him was a video of his dad not too far before he passed away. And he goes, I watch this video all the time. And it was him and his dad at a concert having a great time, and they just filmed themselves. And I've thought about that opportunity, that people, when they do their estate planning, it isn't about the money. Like people say it is, but really it's not. What people really are concerned about are the relationships that they've created throughout their life. And so in the client portal, we created a system, and this was very important to me, that why we did this. So someone could take their phone, film themselves, leaving a message to their kids, put it in there, so upon their passing, those videos would be shared with their kids. And it is a valuable. So as I've been in my office explaining that to my clients, that they have an opportunity to do it, some people they'll weep because it's such a powerful, moving thing to have that opportunity to do it. It's a great thing that is built into the client portal in the EP platform. EPFirms is designed to take your practice to a next level. It's the tool that you need to compete with online services, to be able to keep track of your clients, and then as we go into the future, to be able to do things that have just never been thought of before.